llega ahí, ponemos aquí.
Beautiful sky.
Beautiful sky, Estelí, Nicaragua. Estelí, Nicaragua. I don't know if you can see the mountains behind me. I think so. Over there, you see the mountains. There's the valley of Estelí, and everything is surrounded by those beautiful mountains. How's everybody doing? I owe an apology. I couldn't do my Sunday live last Sunday because we were having a great time with tobacco manufacturers here in Estelí. How are you, Brian? How you doing? We were having a good time on Sunday, and time went by and I totally forgot. I was with Pichardo. I was with Pichardo, one of the manufacturers here, and he's the one who introduced me to Peruvian tobacco. And he said, you will see how Peruvian tobacco, you're going to find out the similarities of Peruvian tobacco and something that you have tried before. My name is Yanko Maceda, founder of Tabanero Cigars, Best Tampa Cigars. And we were established 2010, December 15, 2010. We've been manufacturing cigars since that time to COVID in Ybor City, Tampa, Florida, the historic district. And we moved the manufacturing to Nicaragua after COVID. We moved as a family, the kids, the wife, 23 degrees, oh my God. Hey, make the best of it, but here it's windy, it's 74, so Estelí, it's a good time right now to be in Estelí. It's a good time to be right now in Estelí. So I'm going to try, this is a second from my good friend Pichardo, Eladio Pichardo. He's importing from Peru, Bicho and Secos from Peru, and I'm really impressed with the aromas, the taste of Peru. How are you, Brian? Welcome. Peruvian tobacco is not really a dark leaf. It's not a thick leaf. Think of Ecuadorian tobacco, but it has a really distinct aroma. Peruvian tobacco. It is really close to that Cuban profile, to that hint of vanilla, a lot of aroma, a lot of bouquet. And he's been telling me that he's just putting half or one leaf of Peruvian, and it makes a huge difference. So there's something that I would like to experience, adding a little bit of Peruvian on some of the blends. On new cigars, new blends. It's a lot easier down here in Nicaragua to experiment, to try different things, because everything comes here. After Nicaragua, we'll go to the Dominican Republic, all the part of the world, but everything is fermented, everything is processed right here in Nicaragua. So even if they grow in Brazil, Pennsylvania, Ecuador, Peru, Costa Rica, all the tobacco comes here to be processed in Estelí, Nicaragua, and the surrounding areas. I like to, and especially here, it's pretty windy today, I like to light my cigars always out of my mouth. I see on social media how people puff from the lighter. Sometimes where you at, you got your hand full and you only got one hand, I get it. But if you have the chance to light up the cigar completely out of your mouth, it's a totally different experience when you start puffing on that cigar. It's a cleaner cigar, it doesn't bitter your palate, So I always do with the tip of the flame, so I don't charge the cigar, and then start puffing really slow. Scott, how are you? How are you, brother? How you doing? Happy New Year. So I do my first few puffs really gentle. I see that many people, you know, they start from the lighter and they start puffing. And the way I see it is like serving a good bourbon or whiskey and just swallow the whole shot at once. And, you know, I don't know when you put to sleep your taste bud because it was so aggressive on your taste bud, how you going to continue to taste the bourbon or the whiskey. Everybody that I seen into bourbon and whiskey connoisseurs, they serve in the first few, it's a sipping, allowing the palate to open up. It's the same thing with cigar. I don't like to light up and start, you know, looking like a chimney because basically I'm burning my palate. So the first puff, really gentle to let them to warm up and start experimenting those tones that always people are talking about. And us, we go, well, what are you talking about? Chocolate or leather or roasted almonds. You have to go slow so you can concentrate and experience on those notes, and especially in the beginning of the cigar. You don't want the heat. You don't want, especially at the beginning of a cigar, that heat that you have in the beginning, puff too hard and feel it on the back of the ceiling of your throat. Your nose is bitter because you puffing too fast. We were testing this diesel factory, and someone made the comment that for them it only tastes like Indonesia binder. And I kind of got an idea what he was saying by Indonesia binder because it's a really thin tobacco, not as dark, and it can be empty of flavor. But the Peruvian tobacco, it has so much settle, metal, great aged tobacco note. It feels like it doesn't need a long period of time of fermentation to give you those beautiful notes. Really pleasant. I believe that if you do just a cigar with Peruvian, it will be kind of boring, like the same way I see most of the Cuban cigars that I have the chance to experience, that I kind of had a hint that it was truly Cubans, because there's no secrets in 90% what we smoke in the U.S. It's counterfeited, Cuban counterfeited. So when I used to work with Cuban rollers in my factory, that was all the rollers I had. Every once in a while, hey, boss man, I'm going to take 3 days, I'm going to go to the island. And they will bring me stuff and say, hey, look, bossman, this is legit. It was done in the factory by my friend. I want you to have it, and they were pretty decent. The 5 to 6 that I smoked, they were pretty decent, and I can find notes on this Peruvian tobacco that I remember for true Cuban cigars. The only difference is it's not just that Cuban-like tobacco. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's blending Peruvian with Condega, Peruvian Condega, and one of the blends, it has a Mexican Viso, and then the other blend has a Pennsylvania Viso. I guess those two sweet tobaccos, they go really good with Peruvian. So I'm going to start learning now about Peruvian. I'm going to start learning about Peruvian, and because I really like them. They're really nice to my palate. I really enjoy it. And so far, what I put up there, my 100 customers that love what I do, they seem to align with my palate. That Graham cookie, those well-baked note, it's present here in the Peruvian tobacco with this blend. And it's kind of like a Lancero box press. So half of a leaf of Peruvian is really present in there. I had a torpedo, box press torpedo, 5 inches by 52, I think, and it was amazing. When it was given to me by Ulysses Llanes, my good friend who got me into this industry, he said, "Here, try this." And I light up a torpedo, and I was going. That was last night. I invited home here. He stays in Esteli in a period of a month and then go back. So we hang out more here than in Tampa, because in Tampa we are 40 minutes away. In here we are 30 minutes away. So we hang out a lot. He does a lot of export for a few big companies here. So it's good to keep a friendship with someone that has started, help you out in the beginning, and is still really well connected in here in the state. So he gave me the torpedo. I said, "Here, try this. I want you to try this." And I light up the torpedo, and usually it takes me about a half an inch, about an inch, for me not to disguise my palate, to let the cigar to warm up, to in case the roller put any of the legs of the tobacco on the cigar, and it's a little bit bitter, give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, that cigar from the beginning, it was amazing. Those Cuban notes of good bakes, when you're baking cookies, what I hear a lot of Graham cookie sweetness. It wasn't much of the roasted almonds of the Condea. It was more of those baking note. And you have to experience to see what I'm saying. If you do it right, if you light up the cigar, let it warm up, and do the first few puffs really gentle, really gentle. I keep insisting on that. I think because because of peer pressure, humanity, we light up the cigars and want to look like macho man, and you burning your palate right in the beginning. I learned from a good friend, Nick Cutro, the guy behind all the plastic cigar molds, all the tools, all the new technology that we experience in the industry. I learned from him. He shared with me years ago. Do you think the really old timers, they smoke really slow because they're old? You think that when you see, when Arsenio used to be alive, Jose Padron, and they always smoke really slow. And you think, well, they're smoking really slow because probably the blood pressure, there's not enough to pull, And I guess not. I guess he told me that they're not pretending. They're really concentrating on enjoying the cigar, and they do everything with the cigar as slow motion. I see a lot of the young cigar lifestyle guys here, and we go to La Selección Nicaragüense. It's kind of like a Starbucks cafe here in Esteli, and you see them lighting up the cigar, making smoke, and they put it in the ashtray. They keep working on their phone, and they get the cigar again. And I go, is that much pressure that you want to tell people I'm from Esteli, I know how to smoke cigars, because you don't know how to smoke cigars. So, I don't, years ago I stopped trying to pretend, because I fall in love with the industry, and I learned from Nick Cutro that the slower you smoke the cigar, the best way you're going to keep the temperature on your cigar to give you the true notes, of the cigar, not just to be bitter tobacco and puffing and look cool. So I'm really careful with not overheating my cigars. Sometimes cigars has too much draw. They made a mistake, and the cigar has a lot of draw, so it's burning like a straw. On those cigars, when it has good tobacco, I especially slow down, really slow down so I don't get the cigar overheated and I miss that good tones tobaccos on the cigar. It has nothing to do with Indonesia binder. Whoever said that it tastes like Indonesia, no, I guess their palate is not as sensitive as mine to recognize that it has nothing to do with Indonesia. Indonesia, it's hazy. It's when you put something, when you put too much Indonesia or Indonesia with Connecticut, it even bitters the Connecticut wrapper. This has no bitter. This has nothing to be similar to Indonesia. I'm really impressed with Peruvian. I remember when I used to manufacture cigars in Tampa, that there was a company, Los Perez in Miami. They used to bring Peruvian tobacco to Miami, but it was untouchable. It was so expensive. By the time they would bring them in, and you would call us already sold. So it was going to be difficult to add it to our portfolio and maintain it. So I'm really careful when I do any changes with the core of our portfolio to make sure that I'm able to keep same tobaccos. We were having this last 2 weeks here in Esteli, I've been really taking a break. I just been taking a break of being hands-on on the box factory. I have a box factory down here in Nicaragua. It's really small right now. Between the two floors is 2,700 square feet, and it's really small. I have two clients, two monthly clients that they keep us busy. We finished our second year, 2025, on positive. That was amazing. I believe. So I wasn't hands-on, experimenting with newer stains or procedures because. There was so much work in Tampa when I spent time in Tampa that I said, you know what, when I get to Esteli, I really need to take a break. I'm tired. I finished the year, I started the year really tired, with a lot of purpose. There's nothing more fulfillment that the end of the year is coming and you're not going, oh, well, now this year I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, I already know what is my plan. The end of the year, came in, and we passed it, and I'm still on my journey. I know exactly how I enjoy my journey, and I know that what I really like is to pay attention of what's going on. Earlier years, things will happen too quick for me because I was so concentrated on the goal, and I was so concentrated on what people make you think it's what life is all about, that I realized no, it's not about where I'm going. It's about how much I'm enjoying it right now, and now Esteli has definitely slowed me down. Esteli has slowed me down. I remember when we moved here 2 years and a half ago, I came in rushing, I was pushing everybody, and I see a lot of friction. I see the people looking at me like, what's the rush? Why he's so rushing? We come in at 7, we take a break at 9, we take a lunchtime, we drink coffee at 3, And then 5, we finish at 5:30, but you see a 4:45 holiday motions. So, I don't know, I started to like it, and I started to enjoy it. Thank you guys, thank you for coming in, Luis, Yerito Rodriguez, Toriano. My eyesight is not the same as when I was 35, 38. I heard that a lot, but after 40 years old, your eyesight will pay the price. She just turned 47 last year, and yeah, I have to. So definitely, study has slowed me down. I'm smelling more of the roses, and how I interpret smelling more of the roses is seeing my kids opening that gate and going almost close to the mountains on their dirt bikes, bicycle, spending the whole afternoon, and they have a rule that when they see the sun coming down to come back. They have like 7 friends. It's amazing how they're growing here. It's, they speaking the language perfectly. The way I'm exposing them, I would have never done that in the U.S. So it's amazing how they're growing into a multicultural environment. Learning from Nicaraguans, learning the Nicaraguans are really strong. They can't forget to say thank you, excuse me, to be grateful. That's something that, because there's a really strong culture here. If they use much of a thank you, it's a sign of weakness, I think. But I have been sharing with my young guys in the factory that the only way for someone to remember you, when they do a gesture with you, the only way to remember you is by how many times you said thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kindness. That's the only way to remember. You always hear, you are supposed to, once you extend your arm, because you felt like it to help someone, as soon as you're coming back, you should forget. You should forget what you did. You did it for yourself. But when someone doesn't really acknowledge what you just did, you forget about that person. It's in the past. But when that person truly show you what was the meaning of what you just did for them, that person stays in your mind for the rest of your stay or whatever you are. So that's something that I've been teaching my kids. You have to be grateful. You have to be grateful because the way people are going to remember you, the way the universe is going to bring good stuff to you is to be grateful for what we already have. And I think they get it. Every Sunday we read a lot about many things that they're not in school. And I tell my kids, I'm not an engineer, I went to college, I'm not a smart individual, I'm just a really passionate individual with a good palate. And I can't really teach you about, I don't know, about math or about medicine. I can teach you what I'm experiencing in my life, which makes me extremely happy, extremely happy. It will be quite challenging and really expensive trying to do a full body cigar. I think a full body cigar and not take from the aromas of the Peruvian. So I think this is more of a mild to medium, and medium. That's what I would do. Peruvian tobacco, Seco and Visos, we're talking about $17 a pound. Most of the Condegas, Jalapa, stuff that grows here, we're talking about $7 to $8 a pound. So, $17 for Peruvian, it's not truly to do a production and continue production. It should be for the size of brand that I am, it should be to do 20,000 cigars in limited edition, and when they're gone, they're gone. And I think it will be perfect because I see that Pichardo is doing it a lot on Lanceros. I think that will be the perfect size of Lancero, so you can really enjoy the Peruvian. And this is great. This is why I try to document every week to basically talking to 3 people, 4 people that are watching me. Because the way I see it, it's not how much audience I have. It's just connecting with a few people and basically also talking to myself. And that helps me to understand where I am right now, and what is the next step. This week I went and sold property. I think I'm at a point of buying land because it is inevitable that I start manufacturing my cigar. Steven! Thank you, Steve-o. Thank you. That's my great mentor, Steve Steinberger. That's one of my great mentors in business and life. Thank you, Steve, for everything that you have taught me. Thank you. Is Willie around? It feels, it's, you know, I'm here and Steve says hello, Scott says hello, and I miss time. I wish I can be for 2 hours, today, Sunday, right there in the shop. Because we have amazing connections on that shop in Tabanero Cigars. The whole thing and changing stuff and changing the setting of Tabanero and making it more like part of your home, not your home. It's to succeed, to keep that beautiful space that is not a bar. It's not a bar, that is not about alcohol, and it's being challenging. It's being challenging in this new world that we have found a lot of comfort staying home, getting everything through our phones, to really make an exception and go somewhere. It takes a lot. When people now are going out, the venue really have to give a lot at once, you know, that really instant gratification for you to make an exception and get out of your comfort zone. Because after COVID, definitely they did reset the world, and you see more and more people doing their man cave. You see more and more people staying home. I see people they have done their backyard like a vacation destination. And when you put that much work on your man cave and your backyard, there's not that much need to go out, and that is really affecting the little guy, the small little guy. But it's not the end. You know, I'm in the floor and I keep fighting. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Yes, I love my coffee. I just received one of the boxes that we ship here, and it brought 2 cans of my coffee. And of course, it would never taste the same as that big espresso machine with a lot of pressure, but I get close. I love my coffee. I think La Naviera Coffee Mill did a hell of a job making that special blend for us. Julio Fernandez, bienvenido. I think they did an amazing job following my taste. I remember Danny going, well, if you don't like this, you got to tell me why you don't like it. And we went through that process 4 times. And I said, man, Danny's going to give up. He's going to give up because the coffees that he was offering me, they were good, but it wasn't to my standards, what I was looking for. I had a clear idea of what I was looking for, and he got it done. Many customers drink my coffee and they go, "Whoa, who's making the coffee for you?" And I go, "Oh yeah, it's a special blend roasted by La Naviera Coffee Mill for us." And they go, no. La Naviera doesn't have any of their blends like this. And I said, yeah, I know. I tried all their blends and they custom this one for me. So This will be great the Taba brew coffee. This will be amazing with Taba brew coffee. Noel, welcome Noel. So definitely I am looking into Peruvian. I think it's gonna be nice. Something else I also want to experience is besides having cigars, and this is something that I've been trying to get going, but I haven't found the opportunity. Besides using San Andres Mexican wrapper, the dark cocoa notes from San Andres Mexican wrapper, there's a lot of visos. There's a lot of viso, I guess, when they're sorting and of course, getting the best for a wrapper, they are left with a lot of viso from Mexico, from San Andres. So I want to experience with a Ecuadorian Havana wrapper and put a Mexican San Andres viso in there with the right blend to see how it goes. I would like to try that with Momentum, with any of the new stuff that will be coming out. This week I finally installed my EcoFlow smart panel here in Nicaragua with 2 Delta Pro batteries. 2 Delta Pro batteries. I already got 1600 watts of panels, 400, and we're going to install next in another 2 weeks because I'm still missing parts and all the stuff that I ordered to a great service that we have here in Esteli, Nika Choppers. If you want to get the best deal, you got to send by sea, and it's $3 a pound. So I order wires or other stuff to install the panels, and I have the office, which is pretty big. It's a pretty big room. If I'm not mistaken, it's 20 by 10. It's a pretty big office, kind of the size of the garage here on this side. So I'm insulating the office. I'm building all the shell. Hopefully I'm going to put some planks of cedar so I can start aging here in Nicaragua. Because when you manufacture here in Nicaragua, there's a lot of lack of space. So, and there's many people making great cigars here. So when I find opportunities for that everyday cigar, that bundle cigar, of people I know they're doing a great job, and I'm going to help them, by unloading good bundle cigars. I don't want to have 10,000, 20,000 and rush it to send them to the U.S. I want to have my aging room here, and when I accumulate 60, 80, 100,000 cigars, and then ship over there. We already tried, and it was a total success because of the people that I bought those cigars for, really good cigars. It's not secret, the economy, it's been struggling, and there's many people on here that are doing a great job, but the business that they were trying to conduct with a customer goes sour. They were left with a 50%. They trying to get rid of the rest of the cigars so they can get paid. You get a better deal because they already got 50% of the cigars, and that is passed on to you guys. That's when I'm going to start putting bundles back in the website. $60, $80, $100, depending on the size, for 25 really good cigars. Because it's stuff that I already try, taste, and there are cigars that many people will be eager to put the cigar band and set it as a premium. I don't do that because it's something that you found that it was good, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get the same thing. We would just number the batches, and that way that you as a client can identify what cigars was it, and whenever we buy from that individual again, we can identify if it's the same person. If it's something that you like, you can buy again. And those are cigars to sell quick. We did a announcement, I think it was in October, for November. We did an announcement on a Friday, we put them on the website, and we sold everything on a Friday. So whenever I'm ready again, I will send emails and say, hey, we got good opportunity now, take advantage, and little by little, the same way that you guys have built trust on the brand of Tabanero Cigars, you will build trust that when I find good stuff and put it in your hands at a good deal, a good price, instead of buying it from the big guy, Cigar International, JR's, Cigar Page, you support your little guy that has moved to Nicaragua, that is enjoying the journey, and believe on good cigars. I'm surprised down here with many. There's boutiques in here doing an excellent job, and there's many others that I'm surprised. I'm surprised how they still exist, because I've seen the productions, I've tried the stuff. So we were having a conversation yesterday, Ulysses and myself, and Ulysses was saying, Yanko, I have lost respect for this industry. Ulysses has been in it a little bit more than me. Ulysses has been in it 20 years, I've been in it 15. Because really it doesn't count. When I started in 2007, it was just a little shop and I only lasted a year. So I count from 2010. And Ulysses said I have lost respect because, he has the regular brands, really known brands on the humidor. He has a beautiful humidor, but he also sells everyday stuff like walking the dog, this and that. And he says, he made a comment that he's surprised how people light up those cigars in front of him and go, wow, this is amazing. I would never pay $12, $14 for a cigar with this cigar. And he says, man, even if I was out of cigar, completely out of cigar, I wouldn't smoke those cigars. And I know what he's saying. A year ago, I was in a lounge, a new brand launch, and everybody, there was a lot of buzz about that brand. We bought some cigars and we had to put it back in the ashtray. The owner got a little bit upset. He said, wow, you have a really particular palate, because everybody here in the shop has been loving this new brand. I think I have a lot to learn marketing wise. We sell 80 to 100,000 cigars a year. We are really small, a boutique. I guess I don't sell a million, 1.5 million. But I'd rather concentrate on 100,000, mostly good cigars, because this is a handmade product. You always find some flaws, but it's not as. But man, it's amazing what people can accept. And because of the marketing, they highly talk about the product, and I'm going, wow, I guess you've been most of your life eating processed food or high sugar content foods, and your palate can really identify what in the world it's a good cigar. But that's a topic that we got to be really careful to touch on. I'm just sharing with you because being down here and seeing what's going on, and then in a few months go to the show, the PCA, and see all these brands, and you be in the kitchen, and you see people lighting up, and you go, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Whoop, they went up. We're having a great conversation. I never forget Felix Mesa. Felix Mesa, I think he used to work for a tour at some point. He, right in the beginning of me at PCA, he bumped into me and said, hey Yanko, you're really doing it right. And I said, wow, thank you, Felix, thank you. You're really doing it right, Yanko. Keep it small, concentrate on your craft, sell directly to your customer, and so you can concentrate on a good cigar, and you don't have to do 1 million, 2 million cigars to see profits. You know, same thing, I was in my beginnings trying to do wholesale, and this guy telling me, you know, try not to put too much energy into wholesale, because how you're doing it is right. But I kind of got an idea of where he's at. We'll see when we go to 150, 200,000 sales cigars a year. We'll see how it's going to evolve. But definitely, I have to be having fun. I have to be having fun. I'm not saying to be dandy. It's never going to be dandy. This is a challenge. This is a challenge. There's always issues. There's always problems making you grow, making you to be a different individual for who you were last year. There's no doubt. That's what life is all about. But you know, the more I see the brands and hear, I don't know why that number, the 1.5 cigars a year, why that number is so popular in this industry. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if because they are set as a wholesalers. You know, they have to wholesale their product. I'm only in 14 stores. I only wholesale 14 stores. Majority of my cigars are direct sales in my shop and my website. And whoever gets upset, any stores that gets upset, fine, we don't do business. Because everybody else, the big boys are doing it. The big boys own the factory, own the distribution, sell online, and sell to the stores. And nobody says anything to General Cigars or Titus. Also, they can do it because they're big. I'm really, really tiny, and I'm doing it, and I'm loving it. Because there's not a better experience of being so close to the people you are serving. The people you are serving. I try to tell the guys that are making cigars right now here, I go, look, the difference between making cigars with me and someone that is just wholesaling to stores is that when you sell into stores, the information, it takes too long. The feedback, it takes too long. Sometimes it never goes back. Sometimes they just close your account. You start losing accounts, you're losing accounts. You keep opening new accounts and you're losing accounts and you don't know what's going on. With me, I'm here with you guys, and if you don't feel comfortable to say anything about what was going on with your cigars, you send the feedback. When I'm back in the shop, I get my feedback from customers in the shop, from my website. The information is fast, it's quick, and so far, those 100 customers who know what I do, we have a great connection. So when I make mistakes, they go, hey Yanko, this is going on. Okay, we check the batch, we put it aside to see if it's a little more aging, because there were new cigars, we send another batch. So communication is fast, it's really close when you are you have your direct sales. And I like it, I love it because when I go to the shop, not just with the locals, when I go to the shop, usually in the holidays, Christmas, end of the year, people already visit Tampa around that time and they communicate with you. You're talking. I'm not doing shows around the country to once a year to figure out what's going on. I know what's going on right now. So, thank you, Scott. Thank you. So guys, thank you very much. I think I went over. I try to usually do 30 minutes. I don't want you guys bored of me. I will do it again next Sunday at 3 p.m. and share more of the box factory, of cigars, how's the life in Esteli. And thank you very much for your support, because the only way I can live my dream, I can have a life with purpose, is through you guys. Remember, my name is Yanko Maceda, founder of Tabanero Cigars, where we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. Thank you very much.